Mundo is out, and I've been under sedatives for the last 2 days, so we'll have a bit less information and a bit more bad puns. Uh, Enjoy and don't forget to subscribe, pretty please. Okay, so for runes, Mundo has become a full tank, and that is why we're going Grasp of the Undying, because I have only played Mundo top. I'll be honest, I haven't even tried him in jungle. So, Grasp of the Undying is really easy for you to trigger. You can get those quick traits when you hit your Q, go up to your enemy, and then run away. And that's pretty much it for Grasp. It's really good for any tank, and Mundo is a tank, right? Then we got Demolish because Mundo Mundo has the Mundo has the best ability to, has the best auto attack animation when he's attacking turret. You know, he's just bashing his head. We're gonna talk about that later. And you also have a lot of health, so Demolish is the best option. You also have no shields. Then we got any of these two. Second Twinge is the better because, you know, a lot of healing from his passive, even though it's less than before. And now you can combine it with this, and while you're poking in line, you can pretty much use this to stay extremely healthy. If, however, you would happen to go against something extremely engage heavy, right now I can think of Riven, you can go for bone plating, which will keep you more healthy during those fast raids. And lastly, we got Overgrowth, because, you know, tank, you want a lot of health, you're getting everything from health. So that's it. And secondary runes are a bit funnier because you are going for magical footwear since you don't need to buy boots that early because you have your cleaver which slows everything it sees. You just slow them and walk up to them. And for this reason, you also have approach velocity because you'll be using your cleaver all the time, meaning that you will always have this increased movement speed. Another funny part about Mundo are the small runes right here because I've seen someone go attack speed. I don't think there's is a reason to go for that. You can go a bit of adaptive force for those early auto attacks. You know, it will deal a bit more damage. And then I pretty much recommend going double armor so you can destroy your lane opponent. If you don't feel like you can always go for health, but this is better. And that is going to be everything for runes and rest of it later as always. Okay, here we are. So first off, for summoner spells, you can take either teleport or ignite. If you feel that you want to be obnoxious, just go ignite and go 1v1 on level 1 to kill opponent if you feel like you can. Nasus is really good for this. You can kill Nasus really easily. Uh, Otherwise, go TP and do the same with enemy ADC on bot line. Uh, yeah, items. Uh, I've pretty much went just for Darn's shield since you know everything you have is scaling from health, so you don't need that extra attack damage from Darn's Blight. But you can try it. It's just better, and you also have the regen, so you're always healthy when you're fighting. And obviously one health potion because that is exactly what Mundo needs. More potions. Uh, then for the rest of the items, your mythic is most often going to be anything from these three. Turbo Chem Tank is really funny. You just zoom at the enemies, and when you're right next to them, they can't run away because you have your Q. If you want to be a bit more dealing damage and plus CC, you can go for Aegis, and obviously you always have the option of Force Fire if you want to slow them more consistently. That is the best word, I guess. Anyways, Chem Tank is the best for Mundo. And for your second item, you can do one of those funny strats and go for Warmocks, which don't do that. You will be getting Warmocks. But usually on the second level, you either get Thornmail if enemy has healing, or Deadman's if you want to close the distance even faster. Sometimes you can go for Sterox. I definitely think that the shield is really cool since it also scales with health, but I usually get one of these first. So we'll go with Thornmail, which because it's such a great item. And then you want to go for Sterox, because you'll get that incredible shield. After that, there's the question, do they have a lot of AP? Well, go for Spirit Visage or Force of Nature. Spirit Visage grants you healing from your W, passive, R, so it's great item. And last but not least, we got Deadmans, as I was saying before, just to have even better engage. Or if you're really funny guy, you can go for Frozen Heart if they have Lucian mid, you know. He will just not be able to do anything, but it does not grant health, so it's not that good. Abyssal Mask is also a really good option if they have AP, because 400 health is one of the highest from items that you can get. And also, yeah, there's that increased damage from anything when you immobilize them, but you don't have immobilizer, so that does not really apply. So Deadmans. And lastly, you know, they can't kill you if you're fighting for 5 seconds and then come back full health, right? And this is our beautiful 5000 health Mundo, whose cleaver deals currently 30% current health damage, and he heals a lot from everything. 250 from health, 7%, you see. Uh, so those are items for the best items you can get. And now we can have a look at abilities. First off, we have Mundo's passive called Goes Where He Pleases, which is greatly ironical because every time you get hit by a CC, you will lose this canister, as you can see right here, and you will walk up, and if you walk up to the canister, you will get your CC immunity again, and also you will heal. You lose health when you lose the canister, and you gain more health when you get it back. Meaning that you are forced to go for the canisters unless you are extremely ahead. So the, the name is an extreme and utter lie. But it is a really great thing because now champions like Aurelia, which are more people are trying to play top lane today with their 1cc, Shen is also a great example, can do anything because you just lose a bit of health and then you can immediately get it back. And they're just standing there being shred to pieces by your Q, which deals from 20 on first level to 30 current health damage, meaning that if you hit them at the start of the game, they will not have any fun because you are dealing damage that scales with their HP, so you are extremely powerful early game, and it's a high number, right? Also, it costs health, and when you hit anything, the health is returned as with his ult Q. So that has not really changed. It is really cool though. You see, it does exact damage. Anyways, it is just a good ability, and yeah, I don't think I have to explain it. It's a skill shot with short cooldown. You hit something, you slow it, you gain movement speed because of runes. You deal extreme amounts of damage. You will be often you will be getting it as first and definitely maxing it first. Then we got Mundo's W, which was nerfed to the ground from old Mundo. So first off, it is not all the time. Now for 4 seconds you can zap enemies around you. But if you and then you can either recast it or it will does it itself. You will also gain back if you will also gain get back uh, from 25 to 45% damage taken. So it's another healing, and you often want to start a fight with this ability. And when they try to damage you, you will just use this. Then it goes off, and you kill them. You can also use it as a finisher if they are running away from you and they are low. And lastly, Mundo's E. So first off, you just gain bonus AD out of nowhere. It works like Nocturnes, attack speed out of nowhere. But the lower health you are, the more AD you get, as you can see right here. And also, it is an auto attack resetter, which when you hit something with it and it dies, it will send the target flying through everything else in its path and dealing base damage of this ability. It also scales the less health you have, the more the auto attack resetter deals. So you can see like right here, you can you can send, for example, blue buff. Blue buff is a great example. It is big. So you see the blue buff right here. You see it. Okay, okay. Boom. Now it goes through every unit and damages them. So you are even more of a lane bully because now you have two ranged abilities. One if you have direct line of sight, and one if they're standing inside minions, meaning that they are never safe. And also if they go onto you, you can get some healing from your W, from the damage they have dealt to you, meanwhile shorting them with your percentage damage, which, by the way, every damaging ability you have is scaling with your health. So you build full tank, and then you deal extreme amounts of damage. Isn't that fun? I think it is. Ah, anyways, that is E. And lastly, we got Mundo's ultimate. So first off, when you press your ultimate, you are magically gonna get 20% of your missing health and increased movement speed and attack damage. And you will regenerate your another health over next 10 seconds. Meaning that also a really important thing is that Mundo gets really swell during this. So he's you see he's a beautiful creation. Um, and yeah, you usually want to save this for later fights. And when you are in those later fights, you will magically gain all the health back while again dealing these beautiful damages. I still can't get over it. Uh, anyways, to the laning. So first off, I before we do anything, I need to show you. You see this? Okay, this is the best thing you can get in League today. You just smash your head. Anyways, lightning. So as I was saying, you usually yeah, you usually will be dealing a lot of damage early because you have 20% of maximum HP with your Q. Meaning that during the laning phase you will just bully the enemy as long as they're low, and then once you hit your Q, you will just when go right at them, press your W and basically finish them off with your E and sending them into their turret as a way of taunt. If you happen to get low after level 6, you just wait, usually after you get healing from your W, and then you go for your ultimate, which will obviously increase your attack damage, making your E much stronger. And you will abuse the fact that Mundo has comically low cooldowns. And then you will just kill everyone. After laning phase, I think that right now Mundo falls a bit short because he can still pretty much run into the enemy team, but now after the rework you need your teammates to deal the rest of the damage because while yes, you can still pretty much focus on one target and ignore a lot of enemies, you will not have that much damage as before. And also another thing is that you have a lot more sustain from a lot more abilities, meaning that you can stay alive, but you need people around you to deal the damage. And also, I can recommend you focusing ADCs because remember, you can just ignore CC, so you can just run at them, and while everyone is focusing, your team can shred the rest of the team, and you with your unstoppable abilities will just shred the ADC, which Mundo is really good at. And yeah, it's probably gonna be everything. Mundo is really simple champion. You can definitely try to pick him up, even though everyone is banning him. I'm not even sure why. There are a lot more stronger top laners. But he is cool. He has the head bash. I like that. I hope you found out anything, and I'll see you in the next video. Petri out.